Hello there, what is going on everyone? Today we are going to be unboxing and taking a closer look at Sunak and Poggle the Lesser. Never the lesser in our hearts, always the greater in our minds. I don't know where that came from, we just come up with random slogans here on the channel as we do. This is a very cool expansion for Star Wars Legion. It is a commander and operative expansion, so you're going to get two different units in this box. We're going to take a look at both of them. If you've already seen, we've done Geonosian Warriors expansion. I'll put a link at the end of the video. You can check those out as well. This is ushering in a new wave for the, well, not a new wave, a new era perhaps for the Separatists of not necessarily having to be completely, automatons. They can be a little bit more biological in this particular approach. So very cool stuff. I would love for you guys to stick around. If you are interested in Star Wars tabletop gaming and where the both meet, as well as other science fiction based tabletop games, I cover plenty of that sort of thing. I'd love to have you guys click that subscribe button, click the bell for alerts, stick around. We're gonna have plenty more with Star Wars Legion and lots more with tabletop gaming this year, especially. Lots of really cool stuff coming out this year. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and show you what we're getting. We're getting a nice little poster here of Poggle the Lesser with his bracelets and his ornamental regalia all over his very fancy body. I don't think we're seeing Sunak in this particular picture unless he's like one of those guys in the background. We have both of them here. If you want your instructions, you can head over to atomicmassgames.com/sw-docs. And here's all of the folks that helped work on this game and or this expansion and bring it towards you. We've got only one sprue. We've got bags for our cardboard and our cards. We have two bases. We'll go ahead and get this out. Take a quick look at the sprue before we'll put these together also, so you can see how they're going to look. We've got I've got some fancy wings here. We've got some fancy wings there. These are probably Poggle the Lesser, because I think he is walking, and these are probably Sunak, who's in flight. That's my guess. So, and they do have them, like if you don't have the instructions, A is going to be all of the A pieces are going to be one character. You can kind of see them right there. It's A01. There's a torso front and back. There's a little indentation for the wings to go in there. We've got little crooked legs. And then here's the other torso for, I think, Sunak with B02. And here's A09. That's definitely Poggle the Lesser's older, wiser face. And then Sunak right here. So again, all your pieces. And it is, again, they're putting these in bags now, which is nice. I have had some people on other videos comment about the old system where like a little piece might have like popped out and is somewhere in the box, and then it kind of gets lost. So having everything in the bags, even if it's like a rough shipment, helps everything stay stay together and contained in a bag, and that's a good idea. I approve of that for sure. It's nice to see process improvement over time. And then we've got our cardboard in a bag. Same thing can happen with cardboard sometimes, or tokens can kind of pop out. We've got our commander and operative tokens here. We got 4 dodges, 3 aims, and 2 damage tokens, and we've got all of our cards here. So pretty cool stuff. I'm surprised they only give us 2 damage tokens when you can use like up to you might need 4 for this expansion, or maybe even more than that since you have 2 guys. Yet they give us so many other tokens, and then in the Geonosian Warriors you get all the rest of the damage tokens, but they don't need them for that expansion. So it's kind of funny the way the token stuff comes out. I think they figured if you buy in the Poggle the Lesser and Sunak, you're probably also picking up at least 1 box of Geonosian Warriors. I think that's the logic behind it, and I think that makes some sense. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at these cards. All right, so first up we've got Sunak, who's our Ruthless Lieutenant. He is an operative. He's got 5 health and courage value of 2. Only a white defense die. Surge to hit and surge for defense. So a little better than your basic Geonosian. He's got surge to hit at least. He's got a carbine, which is 1 to 3, and suppressive. So a little bit of a good range weapon on him. But only 3 dice. He's only 90 points though, so it's not that bad. He's got a decent little force pike with pierce. So if he gets into melee, he'll be able to hit you with some pierce, which is not too shabby. He does have the training, comms, and equipment, although we don't get any upgrade cards for training, comms, or equipment in this particular pack. They really have kind of done away with including upgrade cards in units unless it's like a unit unique or unit specific upgrade card. It really makes me wonder if another upgrade card pack is going to be coming out. But that is something that I just always notice when I open these, and they have upgrades, but nothing to go in there. Now, as far as keywords, we got jump 3. Again, the Geonosians have the ability to jump and fly really, really high. I don't know who's really using height 3 terrain, if there's a whole lot of height 3 terrain. I don't know if jump 3 is super, super important, but just jump as a whole, being a free action, gives you incredible movement ability. That comes with also weighed down, so if he takes an objective, he can't jump away for free with it. But he also has scale. He has cover 1 built in, which is awesome. It's just awesome. I mean, just very, very, very cool. I love it. He has death from above. When he attacks, if he's above and shooting down, then he gets to ignore cover from other folks, which is very, very nice. I feel like the Geonosians are going to lead towards a lot of tables being built a little differently and built to kind of accommodate them. And I feel like they're going to work very, very well with existing Shatterpoint terrain. A lot of the terrain that's coming out now by a lot of companies are terrain that work with both. But like if you look back to like some of the original Geonosis terrain, a lot of it is like spires and boulders and things like that you can't actually perch a miniature on too easily. So I feel like a lot of that stuff is going to be reworked into having like pathways and bridges and things like that to better facilitate like Geonosian style play, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I've always liked with Legion having multi-tiers. And that's one of the things that I think is good about Shatterpoint is the terrain really is more functional as far as opposed to just being window dressing. And so I think that keywords like Death from Above are going to help kind of steer the game more in that direction. We've got direct Geonosian warriors, so he gets to give an order for free to Geonosian warriors, which is very cool. He's got retinue Poggle the Lesser, so if you're also running Poggle the Lesser, which I don't see why you wouldn't. I don't know if a whole lot of people will run Sunfac without Poggle the Lesser, although it could happen. But yeah, it's he's going to be able to get free aim or dodge, so free tokens are very, very good. And I think I think that could be nice. Not a tremendous amount of firepower with this guy, but he's doing other things. He can get some decent firepower in there. Suppressive is always nice on ranged weapons, and the movement. I mean, that's one of the biggest things about the Geonosians is that movement. They're just going to get across the board really, really quick, and if he can get into melee, Pierce 1 that's a decent little melee attack. So he looks pretty good. I'm digging him. We've also got Poggle the Lesser coming in here. Now, Poggle the Lesser is exquisite. I think he's a fantastic looking commander. I love a lot of the stuff he's got going on here. So, he's a commander, 85 points. The price is right, folks. I love that cost. It's just going to really, really work, especially with the B2 Super Battle Droids, because you are really going to want B2 Super Battle Droids with this guy. There's a lot of stuff, not just the entourage for B2s, but also the other cards as well. Like, I mean, I can see some people possibly running like 7 B2 Super Battle Droids with this. I don't think it'll happen all the time, but I could see it being a thing. All right, so he has Jump 2. He can't quite fly as high as Sunfac, but it should be good for most boards. Jump 2. Compel Separatist Alliance Trooper. So, again, dealing with that suppression, love Compel. And it's only for core troopers for the Separatist Alliance. So it won't work with Mercs, but it will work with Geonosian Warriors. It will also work with B2 Super Battle Droids, or B1s, if you are so inclined. He's got Override 2 and Weighed Down. So, very cool stuff. I like Override, especially if you're going to be running lots of droids. You're not going to be able to necessarily have orders issued to them all the time. He's got 2 command, a comm, and an equipment. Again, no upgrades to fill those. He's got the Staff of Command, which is only 2 damage, and Concealed Blaster, which is also only 2 damage, but it is at least range 1 to 3. He has Surge to Hit to go along with that, so it's not a terrible attack. It also works into some possible fire support shenanigans we'll see when we look at his command cards. Now, only 4 health, but he does have 3 courage, so it's a very nice courage bubble. And to help him stay alive, he does have a red defense die, which is going to be very good. Red defense die, better than a white defense die, even without the surge to block. Although it's not a whole lot better. I think it's only like one chance higher for a red defense die with no surge to block. But it's still good. He can still drop pretty quickly, though. So you'll want to be very, very safe with this guy. And I think maybe giving him some kind of like bodyguard for command is going to be a nice option with him. We got some command cards to look at also. So first I want to start with Sunak. He's got Brutal Enforcer. This is a nice one. It's a 1 pip, Sunak only. After the issue order step, up to 2 friendly Geonosian warrior units at range 2 of a friendly Sunak may jump 3. Free action. Sunak gains Agile 1 and Demoralize 1 this round. Now, they're not using their own jump 3. He's saying they may jump 3. So, I believe they're actually able to still do their own movement. So this is crazy movement. This is like 4 possible movements in a single thing. So like this, I could see this being a good first turn play just to get your Geonosians like all over the place, which is insane. But then again, Agile 1 and Demoralize this round, the dodges will help Sunak if he wants to get in there. If he can get close enough into enemy troops, he can start putting that suppression on folks. This is just a really cool early game play to kind of spread out and to maybe deny your opponent some movement also if you can demoralize them. Like, do you want to move or do you want to shoot? My guys are all up in your face, so you probably want to shoot. It's just really, really cool. All right, we've got the other 3 that we've got are Poggle the Lesser's cards. So let's get Poggle the Lesser. He's got a 3 pip. It's actually a 4 pip. So it counts as one of your 3 pips. So you actually have standing orders and we make the weapons in your list. You're going to go last, but it says 4 droid trooper units, which is pretty good. Again, I think Poggle the Lesser leans towards a little bit more trooper heavy build, but not necessarily all B1s. I think Poggle the Lesser likes Geonosian warriors and B2 super battle droids the most, so I think that's a good a mix-up of a couple of B2s and a couple of Geonosian warriors, and maybe B1s if you happen to have the extra points. But you can run 7 core with him because of the entourage, as long as one of them is B2 super battle droids, which is super cool. When building a command hand, treat this card as though it has 3 pips. When a core droid trooper unit is issued an order with this card, it may choose to return its order to the order pool. If it does, you may return a defeated miniature to the unit with no wound tokens and remove 1 suppression token. This is this is written for B2 super battle droids. They have 2 health, right? So they're, if you can get them back on with no wound, that's massive. That's like a heal 2. And if you have 4 B2 super battles, or even 5, well, no, 4, because it has to be issued to order with this card to do it. But if you've got, so you would need, for this to be completely optimal, you would need 5 B2 super battle droids, that 4 of which have had, lost a miniature. Then you can issue 1 in order, the full health one that doesn't need to heal, and then issue the 4 that need to heal with this guy, and you just like, boom, we're all, like that's, they're really trying. I feel like this expansion came out there and they're like, buy B2 super battle droids. That should have been his subtext. A public leader of Geonosians and B2 super battle droid advertiser. So yeah, they definitely want you buying more B2s, and I'm okay with that because I really like the B2s. They're super cool. All right, his 2 pip, we serve the queen. This one is for more Geonosian warriors. This is if you're not running B2s, this is a really good, or if you don't have that many B2s, if you're heavier on Geonosian warriors, this card is really going to shine. Now, friendly Sunak will lose direct Geonosians, so he's going to lose that. He won't be able to give the Geonosian warriors an order automatically, but he's also going to gain, along with Geonosian warriors, are also going to gain coordinate Geonosian warriors, which is kind of like the same thing. It just don't get to do it automatically. You have to get an order first. So if you're running Sunak, you issue him the order, he issues it to a Geonosian warriors, then they issue it out, and so on and so forth. Now, you don't have to have Sunak to do this. You can just start your chain with a Geonosian warrior. So, it works either way. But it's a little bit better if you have Sunak, because you have more options that way. It is only issuing an order to one unit, though, so you're just going to have one place to start that chain, unless you give CommsNet or something like that to Sunak, and then you could issue it to Geonosian Warrior and then have comms. So if you split up your forces, you could start 2 chains that way. Yes, and then it also says when a friendly Geonosian Warrior unit with a face-up order token begins its activation, it gains an aim and a dodge. So lots of aims and dodges coming out of this card. And this is just a massive strike. So it's a pretty cool card. A 2-pip, it's letting all your Geonosian Warriors get an aim and a dodge. And well, all of them, if you've kept them kind of close together to where you can chain them. And if you're a Separatist player, you're probably already used to chaining units, because it's kind of treating your Geonosian Warriors similar to how B1s typically get run. Now, if you're running more heavy on the B2s and don't have many or any Geonosian Warriors, then this might be one you swap out for a different 2-pip potentially. And then we have this awesome card here. Let the executions begin. This is Poggle the Lesser only. During the issue order step, you may issue up to 2 orders to friendly droid trooper units at range 1. During Poggle the Lesser's activation, friendly non-panicked droid trooper units at range 1 of Poggle the Lesser gain fire support. Poggle the Lesser may make 2 attack actions during his activation. So this is just a really cool one. Now you're issuing, again, I'm going to use the B2 example, although this does also work with B1s. I mean, you've got them both on there, but might be a little better with B2s. I mean, this one actually can work equally well with both, because the B1s can be farther back. They have a little bit longer range than B2s. But he's already got Entourage B2 Super Battle Droid, so he's already issuing an order to 1 B2. And then let's just say you had a B2, a second B2, and a B1. You give them orders. They'd all have fire support. You could... and maybe you have other things also to issue out other orders, whether you're chaining B1s and all that stuff. So very cool stuff. But again, you can only do 1 fire support per attack. So you don't need that many, right? So during Poggle the Lesser's activation is the only time that they're going to have the fire support. So if you have 3 droids with fire support, well, he can only make 2 attack actions during his activation. So unless you have some kind of other way for him to activate a second time, then, and there's currently not, especially not if you're playing his command card. It means even future stuff is probably not going to let him have it. So you're probably only going to get 2 fire supports out of this, but at least you have options. And so like maybe you might need a second shot on somebody farther away, just out of range of one of those B2s, and then the B1s can make the shot. Maybe the first shot kills your target and you're like, oh, okay, well, good thing I have a longer range option, So, and that's where the range of his blaster comes into play. Even though it's a small attack pool, you have Search to Hit built in there. The droids don't have that. And you have range 3. And again, the range only comes from Poggle the Lesser, although the other guys have to have range also, but you need to have him at least to start it. So him having range 3, he still has to be a little far forward, but he doesn't have to be that far forward. So this card has potential. I don't know if I want Poggle the Lesser shooting a whole lot, but by the time of the game, because this isn't an early game card, this is probably a mid to late game card when you really absolutely positively have to kill somebody, or maybe have to kill 2 units. This is a great option to say, I really need to kill your Leia or your Han Solo or something like that. And I'm going to just fire, a whole round of B2s into you. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to fire again, and it's a whole round of B1s into you or something like that. Pretty cool card. And by that point in the game, maybe it's okay for Poggle the Lesser. If he's already in range to make it happen, it means he's already in range to be shot at. So maybe you want to kill them before they kill you. It is also a 1-pip, so you have a pretty darn good chance of going first with this card. But you will be short for the rest of the round, because you will be down at least 2 droids and Poggle the Lesser if you do this all the way. So that could be a little bit of a bummer. But fire support is fun that way. It's a way to kind of go all in and see if you can deny your opponent a critical unit, or possibly 2 critical units, which is super cool. All right, so we've got these guys put together here, and we're going to start off with Sunak. There he is. He is... he's pretty far off of the base. So he's got a good kind of leaping thing. That back leg is going up in between the wings. It's got a nice winged pose, and maybe not the nicest face. He's kind of scarred and looking a little angry. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Very dynamic, leaping out at you. Then we've got Poggle the Lesser here. And he's looking pretty groovy. Looking pretty groovy. He's got them wings. He's got he's stroking the beard. He's got the cane planted on the ground. And he's ready to get some paint on him. So, yeah, not too shabby. All right, that is going to do it for Sunak and Poggle the Lesser, the commander and operative expansion for the separatists of Star Wars Legion. If you guys like this video and want to see more stuff like this, be sure to subscribe. Let me know down in the comments one of your favorite separatist or Clone Wars moments from all of Star Wars storytelling. And we'll see you on the next video. There'll be plenty more really fun Legion stuff. I also want to hear from you guys what Star Wars content you're excited about. You can also keep the discussion going in our Discord. Be sure to check the links in the description below, or you can check that out. I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and may the Force be with you. Live long and prosper. Be excellent to each other. Always wash your socks and have a fantastic day.